Welcome back, Kitchen Table Wargaming, to another battle report. I am going up against Mr. Reuben and his Behemoth Tyranids. Last time I tried some random things with Grey Knights that I thought would be kind of fun. It didn't work out in my favor, but that's okay. This time we're going with some things, gathered some intel from other players, and going to try a pretty different list, taking more advantage of the Armor of Contempt. And then, of course, the Tyranids are the Tyranids. So Reuben tweaked his list a little bit, probably to my detriment. We'll find out. This is, I think, round 3 against the new book with you. So this is my turn. Third tries the charm. Calling it. Third tries the charm. That's how it's going to play. We'll be back in a minute with more of our army lists. Alrighty, folks, here's the 2,000 points of Tyranids. This is my first time playing against a Harpy. I'm nervous excited about that. I keep hearing a lot about them, but it's the first time I've seen one, so that's pretty cool. And he's freshly finished up, I believe, too, for this. Not necessarily for this game, but for an upcoming event. So we've got, for characters, we've got the Neurothrope. He's the Warlord. I'm assuming he does the regular kind of Warlord stuff that he's been doing.
Yep. He's got, like, +2 to his psychic powers.
Yeah.
And, to cast. And, yeah, he's just 3 up invul. He's kind of hard to get to.
He's nice. He's nice. Other HQ choice is going to be this dude right here. You got the Tyrant, not winged, but he does have the Chad Gullet, everybody's favorite gun to get shot with. So there's that. You see the Maleceptor in the corner doing what Maleceptors do. Up here, we also have the Parasite of Mortrax.
The Parasite has 2 upgrades on him.
Oh.
He's got a relic that lets him spawn Ripper Swarms, D3 plus 1 Ripper Swarms. In once per game. And then he also has the Warlord trait. I think it's called Alien Cunning. It lets him count as 5 OBSEC models. Plus he can advance and still do actions and stuff like that.
That does make him pretty handy.
He's pretty handy.
Other interesting additions, we have a Death Leaper and a Lictor. Yeah, I almost called him a Death Lictor, and I said, that doesn't sound right. That sounds very strange. There is a big squad of 9 Raveners, a squad of 5 Raveners up there. We've got 3 squads of 5 Tyranid Warriors here. There are a couple of, the Lash Whips is what they're called?
They have Bone Swords. Each unit has at least 1 Lash Whip Bone Sword.
Lash Whip Bone
And then I've got a Venom Cannon in each unit. Yep. The rest of them have Death Spitters. And 2 units have Adrenal Glands and Flesh Hooks, and 1 unit has Toxin Sacs as well.
Watch out. You got Venom Thropes, the -1 to Shoosting, and then there's 5 Pyrivores. There's a 3-man and a 2-man squad is how these are being run today.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah, that's a lot of bug. We'll see. This will be a fun game. A different style of list for me. And I haven't seen a Harpy yet, so that'll be kind of fun. I don't know if you've played with them very often or not, but that might be some new stuff there as well. So we will be back in just a minute for mission, deployments, etc., and first turn roll-off. Alrighty, folks, here's the Grey Knights today. 2,000 points exactly, and following some advice from some people, we're going to try the idea of putting a lot of bodies on the board, some that are harder to kill, and some anti-tank. I know people aren't very high on the Dreadnoughts, but I like them, so I'm trying them again. Something that can shoot is always kind of handy. I've got a battalion, so I've got Apothecary. He's the Warlord, Unyielding Anvil, so OBSEC, Bubble. And then Brother Captain, we've got a Tech Marine, and we've got the Nemesis Dread Grandmaster version. Just doing what they do, holding things down. And I'm playing Sword Bearers, so hopefully my shooting will have a little bit more kick to it. I have 2 squads of 5 Interceptors over here. I've got in the back a squad of 5 Purifiers, 2 Strike squads, and then I've got 2 5-man Terminator squads. There is a Stave in each of the squads, and there's a Hammer in each of the squads on the Paragons. Justicars, because Paragons are Paladins. And that's the list. We'll see. We'll see if we can make some nice bubble wrap layers to protect things from Tyranid swarms and keep things alive and have a little fun. So there it is, 2,000 points exactly. This guy does have the teleporter. I do have the Foretelling of Locust paid for, so I can redeploy 3 core units, and I have one other thing that I paid for, and I can't remember. I might not have that other thing because I can't remember it. There you go. This guy does have the Curates of Sacrifice because he's the Warlord, and I know it's overkill with Armor of Contempt, but I'd rather him stay alive. So, that is it. 2,000 points. We'll take a look at the Tyranids next. All right, folks, we have deployed. We're playing the mission Data Scry. I don't know what mission number that is. Data Scry Salvage.
13.
All right, that one. It is this one. It has 4 objectives in the middle. There's 1 in each deployment zone, so a total of 6 objectives. This one has sticky objectives, so the ones, not the ones. It's any of them that you control at the end of your command phase with an OPSEC unit. You can leave it and it will stay yours. So that's how that goes. And it has the funny, like, from the middle of this side to the middle of that side deployment zone. So that triangle back there, this triangle over here for all the Grey Knights and the Tyranids. Neither one of us is putting things in deep strike or reserves. Everything is on the board. I think the only thing exciting to see around the corners over here, because it's, party central right there. It's like a swarm and infestation. Over here, there's also some party stuff going on inside that building. So, things all around. Lots of Pyrivores back here holding down the backfield. And that's it. All of my stuff is kind of clustered up and trying to not die. Trying some new things for myself. Here are secondaries. I'm going to try to the last, which is going to be the Dread Knight and my 2 Terminator squads. Purifying Ritual and no prisoners, because Reuben has already informed me that he's going to be swarming me anyways, which is what he always does. I might as well try to take some points out of that. He's taking Stranglehold, Raised Banners, and Warp Ritual because he believes he's probably going to have to be in the middle at some point to try to do any kind of business against me. It's probably a good call. So we'll see what happens. This is going to be very interesting. This feels like a pretty different list from him than what I've seen, so I'm excited to see how it goes, and I know it's a different list for me. Get Interceptors over here. Purifiers are in the corner. I figure some nice tasty Mortal Wound goodness going that way is good. The Dreadnoughts characters all up here. Apothecaries up there in that front squad, and Strikes over there. And that's it. That is everything. So, we will now do the rolling to see who will take first turn. And we'll see what happens here. Oh, I rolled mine into the box.
Ooh,
we both have actually rolled a
6s.
6.
Hey.
Just in case you couldn't see that, there it is. All right.
That
So,
bodes well.
oh, I did it again. Except,
You beat me with a 3.
I rolled a 3. Haha.
Grey Knights
Grey Knights are going
first.
first. That's probably, I don't know. Could be helpful. Could be scary. I don't know what to say. All right. We'll be back with Grey Knights turn 1 in a jiffy. Alrighty guys, turn 1 is over. I used my redeploy to just put the Dreadnoughts up a little bit further, making sure they all had easy line of sight down here to these guys. We used the 2CP teleport shunt to get these guys up onto that objective outside of the cover, so they have to come in closer to get to me. Did Purifying Ritual. These guys did an advance, got onto the objective, Purified Ritual there. These guys got here with Gate of Infinity. They just moved up. Then back here, I used the Tech Marine to do, can't even think what it's called all of a sudden. Purifying Ritual over here because I didn't need his psychic power. He made this guy hit better. Totally forgot. Didn't matter because I rolled above his -1 to hit anyways with that guy. This one in the middle is a peanut. He didn't do anything. He whiffed on both his shots. That guy has a wound marker because he periled himself in the warp, casting Armored Resilience. But all 3 Dreadnoughts have Armored Resilience, plus we're in the Tide of Shadows. And the front guy has Sanctuary, and Shadow of Undying Legends was played on him because I couldn't get just enough room to get his base within 6 of that guy. So, there you go. Back here, we backed up a little bit with Terminators, Strike Squads, and just kind of making a bubble back here, keeping things nice and secure for the time being. I killed 4 out of 5 of those warriors. I'm assuming you're in synapse range, so there's no kind of...
they are synapse.
They are, that's right, they are the synapse.
They're not going anywhere.
See, he's not going. That one dude just didn't die. But yeah, that was, killed most of us Tyranid squad for once. I'm happy about that. So, that is the end of my turn. We'll be back for Tyranids turn 1 next. Alright folks, Tyranids turn 1 is done. And shockingly enough, all I have to report is that that squad is dead. Did that surprise anyone? I hope not. They died, gloriously, but they died. I spent Transhuman on them, trying to keep them alive, and then when I went to roll my saves against his Bone Sword attacks, I rolled 2 successful saves and 6 ones and twos.
Yep.
Ones and twos to be specific. It was amazingly not okay. So they're dead. The Harpy did bomb, did 2 mortal wounds. I shrugged one. Somebody else, I think, did a smite over here, or
No, that
there
was
was
all that.
there was something else shot. I don't know. Something happened.
Neuroparasite.
Yeah, that's what it was. And so I lost like a dude and a half to that, and then just couldn't roll saves all of a sudden. Over here, this was interesting. This guy took some wounds. It was from psychic stuff mostly. He got
He
a
took
smite.
one smite wound.
Yeah, one smite
And
wound.
one wound
He
for
hurt
himself. So,
yeah,
you know.
that's it for him. This guy, on the other hand, got shot with a Chad Gullet. Bunch of guns over here were shooting at him. He's alive on 1 wound. Armor of Contempt plus Tide of Shadows plus Armored Resilience. Real dirty. Real good. He stayed alive. 1 wound. All right, so I'm proud of that. And then over here, we just have a mess of things moving. Everybody's everywhere, covering all the objectives, raising the banners everywhere. Warp Ritual.
Yep.
Yeah, that was the one I couldn't deny because I could have on a 13, but you know, what are the odds of that? So all of that was good. So he scored points. He didn't feel like he did well because he didn't kill half my army in the first turn. That's what he's used to doing. I'm feeling all right about this. But that was a good turn. We'll see what we can do next. It's very interesting, actually. So we'll be back with Grey Knights turn 2 now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Grey Knight's turn 2 is done. We shuffled a little here. I made sure that we did the mission objectives, secondary bonus, mission bonus, I don't know. Whatever it's called, Data Scribe with these guys. Purified Ritual here, Purified Ritual there. Didn't have the ability to get anyone on that point to purify it. It was very frustrating. My interceptors were like half an inch away from it. But you can see we did exterminate some Griblies over there, so that was nice. We got rid of them. Also got rid of the Whipper Swarms. Ripper Swarms. Failed most of my psychic powers in this particular phase, which is always fun. And he did go into the what do you call them? Your ability to +1 to deny. What is that called for Tyranids?
It's a Synaptic Imperative.
Synaptic Imperative. So that came in clutch because I was not casting on high numbers and he would just deny it on 1 above. It's very cute. I did get Hammerhand on this squad. That's about the only good thing. And they're just perched there on the edge of the wall in case those things get closer. Then let's see what else. Oh, I did go ahead and jump my Dread Knight back here into this corner. He did a smite. That was one of the few that went off and took 3 wounds off the... Was he the Leaper or Lictor? I don't know which one was which.
He killed the Lictor.
I killed the Lictor. Took 3 wounds off of him, then shot him in the face. Then I wounded these guys. I killed one of these guys with Stormbolter and Psy Cannon. And that was about it. The Dreadnoughts all rolled 1 shot each, and only 2 of them even fired, and 1 of them wounded. It was great. Yeah, I was not impressed. This guy, on the other hand, did make his charge and then killed a couple of them with his mighty Dreadnought.
Killed 3
weapon.
of them.
Yeah, so, you know, hey, yeah. What are you going to do?
rude.
It was a little rude. And my Tech Marine healed this guy up. So I need to count that differently because I healed him. No, that's right. I healed him up to 4 wounds. I did. That was one of the things I forgot to mention. He has the relic for the flat 3 every turn. So
It's a nice
that's
relic.
it. It is a good relic when you got little vehicles and dreadnoughts stomping around. That's it. When Mr. Reuben rudely spent the 2 command points to fight after they die, his Tyranid warriors killed 2 of my purifiers and 3 of my interceptors. It's a dirty trick. I don't like it. We used to be able to do that with our paladins, you know. Made it super cool. We can't do that with our paladins anymore, so now it's just rude. But that's it. That's the end of my turn, and I picked up 2 on Purify Ritual. I did the Data Scry, and I only got 4 on Primary because you have to hold more in this particular matchup. So that's the end of the story. We'll be back for Tyranids turn 2 next. It is the end of Tyranids turn 2, and they did the hurting. Over here we had some entertainment. -1 to hit. No, that wasn't on the squad. That was the other squad. Anyways, these guys did almost nothing. It was very disappointing. I did take the Parasite down to only 2 wounds, and he did fail to wound me with a thing that turns off OBSEC. However, he counts for 5. He's OBSEC, right? The warrior is. So he stole that objective. It's kind of rude. These poor Purifiers and Interceptors died. So in the Psychic phase, this guy over here was throwing out mortal wounds. I was not shrugging mortal wounds.
You shrugged 0 mortal
I
wounds.
shrugged 0. You, however, had the Synaptic whatever that allows you to shrug, and he shrugged almost all of them. He flipped the tables on me yet again.
I stole your
was like,
shrugs.
oh no! That was very disappointing. So the interceptors died to fallout from the Maliceptor, not even being targeted, just the fallout because they were closest. This guy, all 3 of my dreadnoughts were killed, 2 in shooting. This guy in melee over here. Characters took some wounds there. These guys charged into the Terminators. Everybody in combat here did basically nothing. Terminators, Hammerhand, I forgot until the last guy. I was like, look, I forgot my rerolls. And I even measured and got the captain reroll for 1 failed wound. And then the very next guy I swung and I didn't have anything I could reroll. It was horrible. That's what I get for forgetting rules. You'll see that the Dread Knight is back over here because, as you recall, I was in that corner taking people and shooting them and all that good stuff, and then he decided to target me with a Harpy, with Pyrovores. I said, no, not today. And the Chad Gullet was what actually started that whole thing. Mr. Chad Gullet. Don't like those. So we came back over here for our once per game, getting back into the little castle. And there's a bunch of bugs that apparently don't want to die. Like, I did a lot of hitting and slapping. I even interrupted over here. I think I killed a warrior? Maybe?
Not one.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, my purifiers. Because he decided to spend his last command point to reduce my damage by 1. Yeah. I actually did a good amount of work there. Except his reducing damage by 1 foiled my plans. So, that's where we're at. It's weird. He's winning the game at the moment by like 4 or maybe 7 because of his secondaries and primary. But now that he took all of my objectives away except for that one, I don't get to score a primary this turn. So have to do a lot of cleaning up with not as many pieces as I had just previously. So we'll see what I can do. We'll be back in a second for Grey Knights, turn 3. Alright guys, it's the end of the Grey Knights turn 3. We did do the smacking, and I totally forgot that I cast the Empiric Amplification, so we might have actually killed 1 more Ravener, maybe? I'm not sure, but that's okay. I did lose the Tech Marine. I killed a bunch of the Raveners. I killed all the Raveners here because we charged here, we hit there, we hit there. Over here, we managed to kill the Parasite, we managed to kill the Warrior, and another 1.5 of these Venom Thropes. These guys took some shooting, stayed alive. That's about it. So we're still here. I didn't score really any points. He's going to score more points this turn, and the next turn, if I can do a lot of work, maybe I can start to claw back. We'll have to see. It's kind of interesting. It's a very precarious feeling. So we'll see what happens. His turn 2 hurt me quite badly. We'll see where he goes in his turn 3 and what's left. We'll be back in a minute for Tyranids, turn 3. Well, the end of the the end of the Tyranids. Try that again, turn 3. And it was also the end of the Grey Knight Terminators over here. So, he shot at them, nothing happened. He attacks them. It was 6 saves. 7. No, 6. It was 6 saves.
And you failed.
And I needed 3 ups. I rolled 4 1s and 2s, and they're 2 damage a pop. If you do the math, that popped all of them. I had 1 guy on 1 wound. I was like, what? What? So anyways, Armor of Contempt is really good, but when you roll 1s and 2s, it doesn't really matter what your armor looks like.
That.
Neither did I.
They were making up for all the good saves.
They were, because the Dread Knight, I did end up going ahead and wasting, apparently, my Servant of the Throne upgrade, because I was like, you know what, Chad Gullet, all those other shenanigans, the heavy venom cannons over there, everything's going into him. So I popped the 3-up invul, and I rolled 4s and 6s. And so, but he's still alive. So there's that. He did take some fallout from a psychic something, a smiter. I don't know what it was, but the Maliceptor doing his thing. The Maliceptor also managed to take out the brother captain right there. But that's it. So that's all. Yeah, it was ouchish is what it was. So we'll be back in a second for the Grey Knights turn 4. And now it's a little grim because Mr. Reuben here has taken me off of all of the objectives and held on to his back objectives. And so now, score-wise, it's going to be real hard to do anything. But there's still plenty of units to do plenty of smacking, and maybe we can make something happen. So we'll have some fun with it, and we'll come back in just a second and show you what's up. Well, it is the end of Grey Knight's turn 4. These guys came back sitting on the objective, purified ritual, and then got blocked because we only cast it on a 5 and it got blocked. The Terminators cast a Hammerhand, made a charge on the Maleceptor. He charged the Maleceptor after shooting that guy to death and then taking some wounds off the Tyrant. We charged, the Dread Knight killed the Maleceptor. Went ahead and piled into the Tyrant because I don't want him shooting the Chad Gullet for fun. But in return for my efforts, he went ahead and killed 3 of my Terminators. I rolled no good saving rolls on that turn. So that was, I don't know, probably not the smartest thing. Over here, Strike Marines, they did come along. We killed 1 guy with shooting, and they came in and mulched the other guy in combat. Took that objective back. So that's it. This is my army. There's not a lot left, but we've now secured our 3 objectives once again. Kept Reuben from scoring 12, thankfully. But he still has a lot of toys to play with. So we'll see what happens on this this here turn 4 for the Tyranids. It's interesting. A little scary and interesting. So we'll be back. Tyranids turn 4 next. So I'm over here moaning because I did a boo-boo. That's all right. This got charged back into the Dread Knight, and I didn't do any like piling in to fight and hit whenever all that was going on. So I'm just outside of 6 inches away from Mr. Obsec. So I don't have that. It's now contested. That's kind of disappointing. And also sad, he missed with half of his attacks, and he failed the wound with the half that he didn't miss with. So that was really disappointing. And I only failed 1 save, but it was a big save. Oh, and then he also... What else? Something hit... Oh, it was your Venom Cannons.
Trampling Charge.
Oh, that was what it was. Trampling Charge. So we've added up. My Grey Knights have shrugged this many mortal wounds this game. 2. We've shrugged 2 mortal wounds this game. It's been kind of embarrassing. These guys over here are fine. He got shot at a bit. The Terminators got picked up with the Venom Cannons from the Harpy. The Raveners came over, shot and killed a couple, and then mowed them down in melee. And yeah, so I'm down to not a whole lot left. So I will go ahead and get started with this turn 5, and we'll be back with the end of Grey Knight's turn 5 in just a minute. Yeah, there's not a whole lot really to do. There is a chance that I can still score a few more points, so we'll play it and see if I can... I don't know that I can prevent Reuben scoring anymore, but I can still score some. So we'll do that. And we'll be back in just a second for Grey Knight's turn 5 summary. It was a short turn. It was going to be a quick turn for Tyranids. Grey Knight's turn is done. These guys stayed put. They did some shooting over here. Didn't really do anything. I spent the command point for the Dread Knight to fall back and then shoot and charge. He did the shooting and did not do anything. The Apothecary came in. We charged him. Kind of hoped we would do some damage. We did 2 mortal wounds because I rolled 6s to wound. He saved both of those. So, it was a little sad. Then he promptly killed the Apothecary and the Dread Knight. So, there goes that. That's it. It's turn 5 for the Tyranids, and yeah, look, I'm feeling good. I killed a lot of things this game.
You did,
but it's still kind of looking a little rough now. So we'll be back in a second for turn 5, and we'll show scores and all that good stuff. Alrighty, it is the end of the Tyranids turn 5. Didn't really have to do anything other than attempting to score Warp Ritual with him. He cast it on a 10, and CP re-rolled it to make it higher, and it went lower.
It went to a 9.
Got it to a 9. I attempted to deny with the Strike Boys. I rolled an 8, which turns into a 9. So he got his last Warp. Well, not last, but he got his 3rd Warp Ritual. We did fight over that one a bit.
Last
yeah,
one.
it was the last one for you. It was the end of the game. But you can only do 3?
Yep.
Oh, gotcha.
You can get a max of 12 points.
Gotcha. So that's how it is. Pyrivores didn't get to do anything. Sorry. What is that? The Leaper back there?
Death Leaper,
He held down his objectives and did what he was supposed to do. Those Pyrivores data scried 3 out of 5 turns, or 4 out of 5 turns, I think.
4,
yeah, he got a good boost out of them. That was it. So, it was interesting. I am very proud of myself because I got 12 points out of no prisoners. I killed the vast majority of his Tyranid army, which I've never done against Reuben. So I was really excited. Then we looked at the scores, and Reuben has 97, and I scored a whole 36, including paint. I only actually scored 26 points this game, and it's
20 points.
Yeah.
And secondaries.
Yeah, 20 points out of the secondaries. I only scored 6 primary if you include the mission bonus. It was so weird. And but it's funny because I feel so excited that I killed so much of his stuff. All his warriors are dead for the first time ever. Playing him with a new book, I've never killed all his warrior broods.
Dead pile. Look at this.
The Maliceptor was one shot of the Maliceptor couldn't do anything to the Tyrant. It was amazing.
That's the most damage you've ever done to my turn in Army.
Exactly. Like, so I'm so excited, and yet I only scored a third of your points. So I'm like, wait, I shouldn't be this happy about it, but I feel so tickled. I'm like, yeah.
Total victory.
It was definitely a cool game.
It was a very cool game.
It was a lot of fun. Your heartbeat actually was quite useful. His mortal wound bombing didn't help a whole lot, but he definitely did some good shooting. Picked up a lot of different units at key moments. We were talking about turn 3. He came at me really hard, and I weathered some of it, but when I tried to hit him back, it was terrible. Rolls were horrible. -1 to hit Raveners in combat messed up like half of my attacks. It was so nuts.
Yeah.
So there were some weird little things like that.
Yeah, then my following turn, I just mopped up so much because you didn't kill anything.
I didn't kill enough, and then he just turned around and got me good. It was funny. We had some really hilarious dice moments. Oh, I only need 3s to save. Oh, I didn't roll any 3s. Wow. There should be a whole Terminator and a half, or maybe even more than that, sitting on that objective still, and they just melted. So it was weird. This squad, they did pretty good until I tangled with the Tyrant and, trying the last hurrah to hold down points. I don't know. It was fun. I'm not convinced that To the Last is my favorite one yet, but it was interesting to play it, and played very differently with like the Dread Knight and the Terminators. So that was fun. It was a good game. I had a good time.
I think you made good choices. I think it's just that one turn swing just was too much to recover from at that point.
It was rough.
Because that could have gone very different. You could have had both Terminator units still alive. Mm-hmm. This guy was putting in work, that Grandmaster. He probably would have died eventually, but I don't think if I would have put the work in to kill that guy with normal rolls that I would have also gotten the Terminators.
Correct. You had to pick. You had to pick and choose, and then you just happened to, like, Tyrant there, he powered up towards the end. His shooting actually was bad. He whiffed
a lot.
2 turns, I think, of shooting, and then all of a sudden he came in with a melee and was like, "Ha! Look, guys, I don't care about this big gun. I'm just gonna kill you dead. I'm gonna kill you dead." So that was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it thoroughly. Thank you for the game, sir. Thanks for hosting, and we'll catch you next time with another Kitchen Table Wargaming Battle Reports.